We're now going to see some other conditions using the in or is operators. So we should remember there are other ways to create conditional statements other than just the comparison operators, which we have been using up till now in this module. So remember, the in operator can be used with strings or lists and other containers we will learn in the future. But just as a reminder, let's just say we have some string called S and Python programming language. So that is S. And we can check whether, say, a single letter is in, let's say the letter T. Is the letter T in S? This will return either true or false. We could check, is the letter X in S? We can check whether a complete word is in S. So is the word Python with capital P in S? That's false. There is a lowercase p Python. Let's change that. That is true. So the in operator can be used like this. So let's change this into an if-else block. So if Python is in S, then let's print yes. We'll just keep it simple. Otherwise, let's go put else at the beginning of the line, and then we'll print no like this. So Python is in S. You can change this to Java. Well, then that's certainly going to be no. So that is one thing to keep in mind. You can do other conditions. We've already covered this. Let's look at something else that uses in, which is lists. So let's just say we have a lottery. We'll just call it lotto and just have a bunch of numbers. 2017, 52, 1, 9, 34, something like this. And we'll have some number. Let's just say 44. And we can test whether the number, in this case, just 44, is it one of the elements in the lotto? So again, we use this in to check whether this number is inside the list. And in this case, it is false. So we say if num in lotto, we'll print win. Otherwise, we will just say print lose. In this case, it is lose. We can change it to some number that is in there, like 34, and it will be a win. All right. We've also looked at this is operator. So we came in to learn this originally whenever we created lists. So say we have a list A equals 1, 10, 20, and then we create another list B that is assigned to A. So this doesn't create a new list in memory. Again, this is just another variable name that references this same list. So if you do A is B, well, it is true. They're both just references to this underlying list. These are just different names. Remember how I can go by Ted, Theodore, or Teddy, but I'm just one person. A and B are just names that reference this particular list, 1, 10, 30, in a very specific location. So you can say if A is B, you can print the variable names reference same object. Otherwise, you can print, say, not the same underlying object. So in this case, A and B do reference the same object. Let's change this to the same values. Okay, even though they have the same values, they are not the same object over here. So they're just at two different locations in memory. They just happen to have the same values. So A is B. No, they are not the same values. We could have an L if A equals B. This checks the values. Over here, A is it equal to B. And then we'll print over here the variable values are the same, but they reference different objects. Okay, so here we added an elif. right? If it checks the values 1, 10, and 30, we can say not the same object and not the same values otherwise. So if we have 1, 10, and 40, that would trigger this one right here, not the same object and not the same values. Okay, so that's just showing some other conditions. Anything that creates a true or false is a condition and can be placed to the right of an if statement.